Hello everyone, and welcome to the Praetors Council, a place where friends gather to play games and talk about all things Magic the Gathering. Today we have brought to you a Commander gameplay video featuring 4 of our members. In first seat we have Billy, piloting Satya Aetherflux Genius, an energy deck seeking to use its commander to create token copies of creatures to generate value. Second seat is Justin, playing Baylen The Haymaker. This is a Heir Apparent deck looking to use its commander to turn rabbit tokens into value. In third seat we have Matt, on Tinybones Bauble Burglar, a deck that aims to steal his opponent's cards and empty their hands. And finally, in fourth seat, we have Matt with Niv-Mizzet Parun, a control deck looking to halt its opponents and win with a combo finish using cards like Curiosity. Now, on to the gameplay. Billy plays a Surveil land, passes turn to Justin. Justin draws, plays a tap land, and passes to Matt. Matt draws, plays a swamp, and passes to Matt. Matt draws, he plays a tap land, and passes. Billy draws, he plays a Scalding Tarn, he fetches and shocks in, and casts an Arcane Signet. Matt casts Vampiric Tutor in response, losing 2 life. Justin draws, he plays a Spire Garden, taps 2, and casts a Heir Apparent, passes turn. Matt draws the card he tutors for, he plays a Cave, taps 1 for a Soul Ring, he then casts his commander Tinybones. At end of turn, Billy casts Swords to Plowshares targeting Tinybones, and Matt gains 1 life. He passes to Matt, Matt draws, he plays an untapped land, paying 2 life, and passes to Billy. Billy draws, he taps 3 and casts Enduring Innocence and passes turn. Justin draws, he plays a Sundown Pass, taps 3, and casts his commander Baylen. He swings 1 at Matt, Matt takes the damage, and he passes. Matt draws, he pays 4 to Siphon Mind. Matt responds and casts Mana Drain, countering the spell, and he passes. Matt draws, plays a Reliquary Tower for turn, uses his 4 floating mana to cast Bribery, targeting Matt. Matt finds an Orcish Bowmasters, puts it into play. Orcish Bowmasters triggers, he deals 1 point to Justin, and amasses Orc 1. He passes, Billy draws. Billy taps 3 to cast Mockingbird as a copy of Enduring Innocence. When he draws Orcish Bowmasters triggers, Matt pings the Mockingbird for 1 damage, and Mockingbird dies, comes back into play as an enchantment without copying anything. Billy moves to combat, passes through combat, and passes to Justin. Justin draws, plays an untapped land, taps 2 to cast a Heir Apparent. Heir Apparent triggers, and Justin creates 1 bunny. Justin then taps 2 to cast another Heir Apparent. It triggers and creates 2 more bunnies. Justin moves to combat, swings Baylen and his first Heir Apparent at Matt. Matt takes the damage, and Justin passes. Matt draws, and he casts a Fate Unraveler. Matt passes. Matt draws a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler, plays a land for turn. Matt taps 4 to cast Talrand the Sky Summoner. Matt passes to Billy. Billy untaps, draws, takes 1 damage from Fate Unraveler. Billy casts a Solitude for its evoke cost, exiling Ophelia. On ETB, Billy exiles Orcish Bowmasters, and Matt gains 1 life. Billy plays a land for turn, and he taps out to cast his commander Satya. Billy moves to combat. On attack, Billy makes a copy of Enduring Innocence. On ETB, it draws a card, and he loses 1 life from Fate Unraveler. Satya goes at Matt, and the copy of Enduring Innocence goes at Justin. Both of them take the damage. Billy moves to his end step, and the token copy of Enduring Innocence dies. Also in his end step, Justin taps 3 rabbits, draws a card, and loses a life to Fate Unraveler. Justin untaps, draws a card, loses a life to Fate Unraveler, plays a Windswept Heath, cracks it, he finds a Plains. Justin taps 3 and casts Jolly Balloon Man. He then taps 2 rabbits to generate 1 mana and activates Jolly Balloon Man to create a copy of Heir Apparent. It enters the battlefield and triggers and creates 3 rabbits. He then taps 2 to cast another Heir Apparent. It triggers and creates 4 more rabbits. He taps 4 tokens to generate 2 mana through his commander, casts another Heir Apparent, and makes 5 rabbits. He taps 3 rabbits to draw a card, loses a life to Fate Unraveler. He taps 4 more rabbits to generate 2 mana, casts another Heir Apparent, and generates 6 rabbits. He taps 3 rabbits to draw a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Justin moves to combat. He swings his 1 flying rabbit at Billy. Billy takes the damage. He passes his turn, and the balloon dies. Matt untaps, draws a card. He pays 4 for a Scepter of Eternal Glory, and he passes turn. Matt draws a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler, plays a land for turn. Matt then taps forward to cast Teferi, Master of Time. Matt plus 1 Teferi, he draws a card, discards a card, and loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Matt then passes the turn to Billy. Billy draws a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Billy plays a fetch land, he pays 1 life to crack it, and finds a Tundra. Billy then taps 4 to cast Angel of Invention. When Angel of Invention enters, trigger Fabricate 2, Billy chooses to create 2 servo tokens. When it enters the battlefield, Enduring Innocence triggers, Billy draws a card and loses a life. Billy then moves to combat. Billy attacks with Satya and Enduring Innocence. On attack, Satya makes a copy of Angel of Invention, triggering Fabricate 2, creating 2 more servo tokens. Satya swings at Matt for 3. The Angel goes at Justin for 3. Enduring Innocence goes at Matt for 4. Matt blocks. Matt takes 5 from Satya due to the 2 angels. Billy gains 7 life, ends his turn, and the token dies. At end of turn, Justin taps 3 bunnies to draw a card and loses a life. Justin draws, loses a life to Fate Unraveler. He taps 3 rabbits to draw a card. Taps another 3 to draw a card, loses another life. He taps 4 to generate 2 mana to cast Heir Apparent. In response to its cast, he activates Jolly Balloon Man to make a Heir Apparent. The token enters the battlefield and creates 6 tokens. Then the original Heir Apparent enters and creates 7 more rabbits. Justin taps 3 to draw a card and loses a life to Fate Unraveler. He taps another 3 to draw another card, loses a life to Fate Unraveler. Taps 4 to cast another Heir Apparent, generating 7 rabbits. He taps more rabbits to draw 2 more cards and loses 2 life. Plays an Elegant Parlor for turn, triggers Surveil 1, and puts a land in the graveyard. Justin taps 6 bunnies to draw 2 cards and loses 2 life to Fate Unraveler. Justin taps 3 rabbits to draw a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Taps another 3 to draw another card, loses another life to Fate Unraveler. He taps 4 to cast another Heir Apparent, creates 9 more bunnies. He taps 3 bunnies to draw a card, loses a life to Fate Unraveler. He taps another 3 rabbits to draw a card, loses a life to Fate Unraveler. Justin taps 2 bunnies to make a mana, and taps a land to cast another Heir Apparent. Heir Apparent triggers and creates 10 rabbits. Justin taps 6 bunnies to draw 2 cards, and loses 2 life to Fate Unraveler. He taps 2 mana to cast Arabella. Justin moves to his end step, discards down to Heron Size, and passes to Matt. Matt untaps and draws a card. He plays a swamp as land for turn. Matt taps 3 to activate his cave and fetches out a swamp onto the battlefield. Matt activates Teferi, draws a card, discards a card, and loses 1 life. Matt taps out to cast Tassiger's Cruelty, having each opponent discard 2 cards. Matt passes turn. Matt untaps, draws a card, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Matt taps 3 to cast Laboratory Maniac. Matt passes to Billy. Billy untaps, draws a card, plays a mountain as land for turn. Billy taps 2 to play a Talisman. Matt responds by activating Teferi to draw a card and discard a card, losing 1 life to Fate Unraveler. Billy moves to combat. At the beginning of combat, Justin casts Swords to Plowshares, targeting Angel of Invention, gaining Billy 2 life. Billy attacks Matt with Satya. On attack, Satya triggers, makes a copy of Enduring Innocence. It ETBs, and he draws a card, and loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler. 1 Enduring Innocence goes at Justin, the other goes at Matt. Justin blocks. Matt takes the damage, goes to 29. Billy gains 4 life to lifelink. Enduring Innocence dies, returns as an enchantment. Billy draws another card from the creature he just cast, loses 1 life to Fate Unraveler, and passes turn. Justin untaps, and at the beginning of his turn, Matt minuses Teferi to target Arabella and face her out of the game. Justin responds. He taps 2 mana to cast Heroic Intervention. Billy responds and taps 2 to cast Cyclonic Rift, targeting Arabella. Justin responds, taps 2 to cast Dawn's Truce, gifting Matt a tapped fish. Everything on his board becomes hexproof and indestructible. Cyclonic Rift fizzles. Justin draws a card for turn, loses a life to Fate Unraveler, moves to combat, and swings Arabella at Billy. Arabella triggers, the table takes 60 damage, and Justin wins the game. Congratulations to Justin and his victory. Tonight's game really showcased the synergy between Baylen the Haymaker and Heir Apparent with the many tokens that it creates. If you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping us create more content for you all. That about wraps it up for today. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.